Thank you for staying with us right here on Locally Florida. Now, we're excited to welcome Robert Overton, the Executive Director of the University of West Florida Historic Trust. With a mission to collect, preserve, interpret, and share the history and the culture of Northwest Florida, the Trust plays a vital role in keeping our local heritage alive. From engaging exhibits to educational programs, they're dedicated to ensuring that our community's stories are told and celebrated. Robert is here to share some insights into their important work and the upcoming events that they offer to everyone so that we can have a chance to connect with our Florida history. Let's give a warm welcome to Robert Overton.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
Yes, I'm glad that you're coming on the show and to talk to us today.
Yeah.
So I want you to give us an overview of what the Historic Trust is and the mission that y'all have to preserve and interpret and share the history and culture of Northwest Florida.
I'm happy to. We are a direct support organization of the University of West Florida. So we're a child, that's our parent organization. We are a direct presence in downtown Pensacola. So the Historic Trust, as you said, our mission, we fulfill our mission by managing 30 historic properties in the heart of downtown, about 9 acres. That's a pretty big footprint downtown. We go from Seville Square all the way over to Plaza Ferdinand. So basically Alkany Street to Palafox Street.
A lot of history there.
A lot of history there, and not only the history that you see, we talk about the buildings, but there's also a lot of history below the ground, and so we often try to share that story of what was there. The site, the corpus of the site that we manage sits on where both the Spanish and then the British forts were from the 1700s, so it's history there in and of itself. But we feel it's a pleasure to be able to manage Pensacola's history. The historic buildings, of the 30 that we have, 12 are museums.
Okay.
Some of them are warehouses and administrative buildings, and then we rent some out to local businesses. But the museums include the Pensacola Museum of History, which is in the old City Hall building, which is right there facing Plaza Ferdinand. We do general history exhibits there to share the wonderful history that we have. We're featuring stuff from the Spanish, the 1559 shipwreck there, all the way to the newer exhibit that we just opened is on Pensacola sports. So it's 3 floors. We are very fortunate to have added to our family of museums about 5-6 years ago, the Pensacola Museum of Art.
Oh,
Of course,
nice.
it's just across the street on Jefferson Street also, and it's in the old jail. So we take old buildings that were not really museums and we made them museums. So the Art Museum, this year is their 70th anniversary. That began in 1954. So we've done a lot of celebrations with that. We worked with Fufu, block party that we had some artist talks, and then we ended everything not ended the celebration, but the culmination of the celebration was our big gala that we had on November 9th, which was a huge success. The exhibits that they showed in the Art Museum at that time were from the permanent collection, and so I throw this out to everyone. This collection belongs to this community. They're wonderful art pieces. We've got Picassos, there's Warhols, there's Salvador Dali, you've got Chagall's, you've got just numerous collections, and so that's part of it.
Wow.
The other, 2 more things I'm going to throw out. We also operate the Pensacola Children's Museum, one of our busier museums. I kind of joke and say we've got the History Museum in the old City Hall, the Art Museum in the old jail. The Children's Museum, the building was originally a bar.
Oh, that's
interesting.
funny.
But we have great exhibits in there. We've had partnerships with Publix, with the Escambia, and we've done a mini grocery store, the Escambia and Santa Rosa County Medical Society, and we've done a children's medical clinic there. And we are working on, we just were awarded an Impact 100 grant to redo, thank you, to redo our first floor, and we're going to convert it from what we had a replica of our historic village that we do to a new exhibit called Our Town, and it's going to look at some of Pensacola's iconic buildings, like the old, people may remember, may not, Pensacola Dairy, the milk bottle that's shaped like a milk bottle. We're going to reconstruct that. We're going to do other buildings and have the kids can go to different little stations in there.
When can the public expect for that to?
Well, we just got the grant in October, and we've got 2 years to complete it, but I'm hoping that by this time next year we'll have that done. We're working on those things right now, so that's an upcoming piece. The other part of our operation that's a large part with the structures is our Historic Pensacola Village. We completed an open house back a couple months ago in September. We had another opening on late October. We did another free weekend, but that's made up of a bunch of historic structures. And if you hadn't been there, we're all kind of familiar with Colonial Williamsburg.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we're not that.
Right.
But it's similar, and we're much smaller. But it's Pensacola's own little piece of people in costume, interpreting history. We're doing woodworking. We're doing colonial cooking. You get to go on tours. And so that's the genesis. That's, I guess, the bulk of our operation is just how we fulfill that mission of the history and culture.
And I bet that's really neat for locals to be able to see their ancestry, their history, their local, just where we came from in a very intimate setting.
It is. We bring a lot of school kids in for field trips, but we do bring in quite a number of locals, but also tourists. Last year, we brought in almost 200 people who came and clicked through our operation, and we've seen it growing this year.
Well, where can our viewers go to find out more about UWF's Historic Trust?
So the easiest thing to do is look for our website, and it's pretty simple. It's historicpensacola.org. You can go there, and it will take you to all of our museums and all of our offerings.
Well, thank you so much, Robert, for shedding light on the amazing work that's happening with UWF's Historic Trust. And I know the locals are just really proud to see and connect with the local history that y'all offer there. Now, let's turn our attention to something else that brings all of us together: music. Stick around for some great tunes from our Radio Live artist, the talented Emily Barnes, who's here to share her unique sound that embodies the spirit of Florida.